أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Fellow Gambians, friends of the Gambia, distinguished viewers and listeners, we are thankful to the Almighty Allah for the rich blessings showered on us and for granting us the divine favor of celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Gambia's attainment of independence from British colonial rule. This is a day we look forward to with joy and optimism as it consciously rekindles in us the proud feeling of being in charge of our own affairs and our destiny in ways we consider best as a nation. Inspired by the sense of accomplishment, hope, and elation that go with the occasion, let me take time to welcome very heartily our illustrious friends, brothers, and sisters who have traveled long distance to add their presence to the grandeur of the occasion. To each of them I say, on behalf of my government and the people of the Gambia, welcome to the smiling coast of Africa, and thank you for coming to celebrate with us. We entreat you to feel at home in our dear motherland. Fellow Gambians, it is barely 2 months when Gambians spontaneously demonstrated their vehement and uncompromising opposition to conditions that the European Union wanted to impose on the Gambian nation. The spontaneity of the solidarity marches and the reactions that erupted, involving all categories of society, is symbolic of the significance Gambians attach to their dignified existence as a sovereign nation and the degree of patriotism and political maturity that marks Gambian society today. It is in sync with this wave of developments and patriotic manifestations that the theme chosen for this year's celebration is, and I quote, national sovereignty and patriotism in nation building, unquote. Fellow Gambians, friends of the Gambia, distinguished viewers and listeners, nations are defined by their citizens in relation to the common identity, sense of direction, sets of interests, and other peculiar traits that bind them. Taking this further, holding a nationality connotes belonging to a peculiar stock of people with a distinct way of life within a definite geographical area, all of which define their multiple contexts. The relevance of our existence, and therefore our identities, are inextricably linked to those contexts. This accounts for differences in our value systems and cultural heritages. In simple terms, national sovereignty denotes independence, right to self-determination, and pursuit of a common destiny and construction of socio-economic development programs and aspirations based on shared values, philosophies, and principles. Against this backdrop, it is in the interest of all citizens and for the sake of our progeny that we must stand united to defend and protect one another in accordance with this understanding. Like the founding fathers of independent Africa, who literally fought for their freedom and subsequently established the Organization of African Unity, which we have now transformed into the African Union, we risked our lives on 22nd July 1994 to liberate the Gambia in order to build it and let it shine as a sovereign nation. We risked our lives neither to sell the country nor to betray the people to any other nation or grouping. Similarly, when we established the civic education panel in the early years of the Gambian Revolution to educate the citizens of the Gambia, the objective was clear: educate the people for nation building. Today, it is heartening to note that this crucial development has paid dividend, and that Gambians are politically aware and mature enough not only to know their rights, but also to stand up against any attempt to violate such rights whenever the need arises. Over the past 18 years, my government has been consistent in ensuring that the Gambian nation enjoys a respectable and dignified status within the global community. In view of the radical development initiatives implemented, we can now boast of ultra-modern and appropriate infrastructure, more relevant and stronger institutions, better distilled and robust policies and programs, as well as more functional and productive socioeconomic structures. The result of all this is that the quality of life in the country is better, and there are greater opportunities and prospects for all Gambians. Nationally, we are better organized and united. Internationally, the image and status of the Gambia has changed, as we are more active on the world stage than ever before. Such successes have not gone unnoticed outside the shores of this land. Thus, there will be a continual attempt to disrupt these positive trends and undermine the fabric of our social life. Fellow Gambians, friends of the Gambia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and viewers, the history of this world is blighted by incessant acts of exploitation, domination, suppression, discrimination, and of late, conditions tied to hidden agendas. Hence, the emergence of structured resistance and revolutions that are guided by emancipatory ideologies and radical socio-political projects. The lesson is that all peoples must take into their hands the protection and furtherance of their interests, resources, lives, and sovereignty as they consider it fit. This also goes for Gambians. No one else can determine our destiny for us, and no one will come to build the Gambian nation for us without any hidden motive. In opting for responses to external forces, we must distinguish between the honest and genuine friends of the Gambia and those who seek to embark on expansionist caprices. Therefore, we are thankful to the true friends and allies of the Gambia and wish to reassure them of our support and cooperation at all times. One wonders sometimes how certain myopic nations and regional bodies think and behave. The world must know that Gambians are not politically blind, nor gullible and naive enough to swallow whatever the West metes out to us. Let me repeat. The world must know that Gambians are not politically blind, nor gullible